Hola, buenas tardes. Y hoy estoy en Inglaterra, en Londres, como siempre. Y esta vez en un lugar bien particular. Estoy en una muestra de pinturas, es decir, en una exposición. Es una exposición de una cara amiga mía que se llama Saira, la cual ha hecho esta exposición inspirada a la mujer. Ella quiere que las mujeres se reflejen en sus cuadros y ha llamado esta exposición The Woman of the Diaspora. Diáspora es una palabra bien controversial y es una palabra bien delicada, ¿por qué no vamos a llamarla así? Así que nada, los invito a que se queden conmigo y puedan disfrutar hoy de esta exposición que ha hecho Saira, una artista feminista también. Así que los dejo y nos vemos.
I told you I'm not here to mess around, and you've been acting too mysterious. You didn't think I'd go, but do you now? You never took me seriously. You don't have the time for me. I don't have the time to please you. I'll pack all your things away. You're welcome. Broken promises that got me out of work. I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. Don't wanna deal with you, don't wanna feel for you. It's your loss. Broken promises that got me out of work. I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. Don't wanna deal with you, don't wanna feel for you. It's your loss. I never really liked the way you dressed. I guess I thought your style might grow on me. You're never really honest, made me guess. And now I want you far from close to me. You don't have the time for me. I don't have the time to please you. I'll pack all your things away. You're welcome. Broken promises that got me out of work. I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. Don't wanna deal with you, don't wanna feel for you. It's your loss. Broken promises that got me out of work. I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. Don't wanna deal with you, don't wanna feel for you. It's your loss.
Survival and freedom, which is quite similar to my past. So when I was looking at all of these blockchain movies, I was thinking, you know what's really funny? They're not all me. They're not all red-haired, and well, my hair's quite red, but they're not all kind of red-haired and, you know, like this. They're different. They're other women. So I thought, and like literally 7 days ago, I thought maybe I can actually get some other women involved. So I put it out to the universe, and I just threw some stuff out on social media, looked at some podcasts, looked at some guest speakers, and just really threw it out there, left it for a night. And I came back to this barrage of like influx of women going, oh my God, that's like my story. Like literally, this is my life. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So many of them, obviously with like 5 days notice, couldn't really come, but I found some amazing women that could come. Now I've literally just met these women here today for the first time like you. So it was really important for me to go, you know what, actually these women represent what these 1001 women that I'm creating. I've got 255 done, I've got 10 here this evening over there. So it's not just about this big NFT launch, which is what I wanted to do. I just thought actually the stories behind the women are far more important than anything in front of it, like just this, you know, big kind of tech Web3 launch. It's more about kind of voicing the things that kind of we've been through in life, and I wasn't ready to do it alone, and so I'm so lucky that I've got these incredible 4 women and other women here after the panel that are going to help do it with me, really. So it's just going to be a really beautiful discussion about our lives and where we are, and kind of things that we've sort of been through. So I hope it's going to be inspiring, I guess, and insightful.
Take a look at my accent, which is so cockney. And especially if my name's Sharon, right, people didn't believe me, I was Indian, until they saw me, obviously. Or in EastEnders character. And by the way, I'd love to be in EastEnders, so if anyone knows the casting director of EastEnders, I would happily. So this is something that very personal to me when you talk about identity. And that's when my podcast came up, and that's how we started talking. Because I think identity is still something, one, is very subjective. Identity is something about how you feel. No one can tell you about who you are. You have to be telling people, you have to be using your voice to tell people who you are. And, you know, we're living in a day and age now where you can't judge that someone would want to be referred to as he or she anymore. You just can't do that. And I think we need to start asking the question how people want to be referred to. And that's where I think we have a conversation. And I think it's something like these are very positive, that we can actually embrace these conversations and say, who are you, Sharon? What do you want to be?
In Germany, and I'm a multi-skilled artist. I share at the moment, I think I have 30%.
Well, a space that grew and grew around me and created more space to hold me. That was my mum. So I look a lot about women's narratives and retelling stories, and ultimately the artwork that you've created, you are holding a lot of space, 1,001 pieces of digital and real space. So that's what drew me most to collaborating with you tonight.
It's funny because I've never really seen my work as something that's being kind of expressive to others. It's always been like
originally drew art university and study fine art, but I chose not to do it because I wanted to run away, and because my parents were so strict and they wanted me to conform to that culture, but I just couldn't do it. And when I went to Australia, I studied and met my husband, and I wanted to stay there. But then I really realised, living in another society, particularly predominantly white society, and Australia has got its issues with racism.
Severed from them, and I had to go and make my own kind of way. I left many times, always kind of got caught and brought back, but in the end kind of managed to escape and go on to thrive and survive. So that's kind of one of my paintings that kind of showcase me and my sort of background. I want to throw to you ladies.
I'll take the beginning of this. So in stand-up comedy or in comedy writing, they say everything is material. So whether it's that your left boob jogged up on the tube when you were coming home in the Victoria line, which happened to me last week, or it's the mad grandma who does certain things, or the fact that my parents were estranged for 17 years and then got back together as an adult. So I was a child of divorce, and I'm an adult of newly reconciled parents, and yay! Divorced children's stories and dreams do come true, so I'm living proof of it here. So the point is, I write from experience, I write from things that move me, I write from
Used to season. We integrate the taste of home into your bland dishes, and then stand washing up over the kitchen sink, wistfully wishing for some nostalgic rewind of the Diaspora ticker tape to a time when Allahu Akbar still meant God is great and didn't turn you into a walking pipe bomb. And when the hairs poking out your hijab didn't become stray copper wires. When men didn't magnify their desire over sweaty, crepuscular computer screens. Yeah, baby, come for me, boy, don't come for me. Somehow, even when men lower their gazes, they manage to make our bodies obscene. Our hips are vilified and our leather tights and split thighs become excuses for them to hide in. As if my sinning justifies yours. Still, it seems no matter who's doing the looking, our wombs, our hunting grounds turn graveyards. We're crucified in our own weaponized bodies, and I've had enough. Women have always written their histories in white ink, so don't think that you can read me now. Look at me now. I'll turn you to stone. Damned by the West if I cover up, damned by God if I don't. I'll succumb and play monster for you. Succubus to your fallible protagonist, Calypso to your Odysseus. My laugh is the Medusa's, so you better cover your ears. My serrated giggles splintering your hubris. I'm the burning stake in the Cyclops' eye. I'm Artemis transforming Actaeon into a stag. I am the single iris shared between three hags, still scrying the future with perfect clarity. And baby, I predict hellfire because karma, she's a bitch. 3 bitches. 4 bitches, 5 bitches. A whole matriarchal line of bitches walking shackle-free, cackling their bitch cackles hysterically because they can foresee a line of queens that never would have been if not for the misery you inflicted. If you hadn't evicted us from our bodies, our homes, we are the living ghosts coming to collect alimony 50 years too late. Coming to collect the education stolen from child brides at 15. Coming to collect their half-finished degrees. Coming to collect those buried baby girls, blessed be that unborn chorus of voices who wouldn't have been allowed to speak, let alone to scream. Blessed be those invisible women who have somehow still flourished like weeds we have overgrown, eaten. Let a new garden. Poet, God, you've got me for 10 minutes. 10 minutes and a poet, I think sometimes that turns people to dread. Luckily for you, I've got lots of chat as well. So we're gonna chat a little bit because I loved hearing all of these really incredible women and their stories on the panel. And what I also like to do is, I think a lot of the time you open a book of poems and you don't get to find out too much about the author because they're either dead.
Not for the famed reasons assumed, obvious, pedestrian, superficial. It's because I see them and they turn to stone in front of my eyes. I see their weakness, their vulnerability, right into the cores of their being, to the depths of the deception they deceive themselves with, into the parts of their souls that repulse them, and they freeze, pathetic, paralyzed, petrified. They think it's because of me, that this is my power. It's being confronted by their own fallibility and fragility that immobilizes them. Frailty, thy name is man, male ego. This is my power, my curse, I relish it. This hair, this tongue, these eyes, all the better to shit you up with, my dear. They call this exile. I call it an island of one's own, free from the trappings of servitude and lashings of domesticity that imprisoned me, violations that strangled, still choke. I created and hold this space for myself. No man is an island.
Und trotzdem total normal. Überflieger, underrated. Und wenn ich mich richtig erinnere, absolutely adorable. Oh mother, how I miss you. When I walked down the lane to my home for the last time, the wind and green leaves floating ducks on the lake. Where I grew up, time was always standing still. I've never seen the big city from afar. Bike rides in the morning, a sweet pastry for my lunch, wooden chairs and brick walls of school times, but nothing. Nothing could prevent me from getting hurt so deeply. Oh, mother.
Style. Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call